Hey, deep divers. Welcome back. We like to get right into it here, so let's dive deep into some election coverage today.
That was good.
Okay, so we're taking a look at the 2024 U.S. presidential election, and we've got this really interesting article about the Harris campaign.
Okay.
And it's got everybody talking because, the polls are showing this, like, super tight race, right?
Right.
But this article is saying that the campaign is, like, totally confident, like they're going to win.
Interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to take a look and see what's going on there.
Yeah.
Are they bluffing, or did they have some secret weapon? Let's find out. Oh, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below.
Yeah, for sure. So this article really highlights the early voting numbers,
Yeah.
especially among
I
women.
was going to say, the article mentions something like 55% of early voters in those, key battleground states are women.
Exactly. And Harris, she usually does pretty well with female voters.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they'd be focusing on this group.
Totally. And the article was saying it's like more than just, appealing to her base.
Right.
It sounds like it's like a key part of their whole strategy.
Yeah, the article mentions that women, they tend to care more about issues like healthcare and education.
Makes sense.
And those are areas where Harris is really strong.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So the campaign is basically betting that these issues are going to, really motivate women to vote.
Makes sense. But okay, what about the Republicans? Like, if the Democrats are all fired up, are the Republicans just, like, sitting back?
Well, funny you should mention that the article also talks about how there's been a big increase in early voting among Republicans, too.
Interesting. So that could really change things.
Absolutely. But the Harris campaign doesn't seem too worried about it.
Really?
Yeah, they're saying that these are basically the same people who voted for Trump back in 2020.
Oh, so not necessarily new voters.
Right. They even bring up how the pandemic affected voting patterns in 2020.
Oh, yeah, I remember that was a big deal. How does that play into this?
Yeah. Well, the article explains that because of the pandemic, there was a huge jump in mail-in voting.
Yeah.
Especially among Democrats.
Okay.
So the Harris campaign is saying that these higher early voting numbers for Republicans are probably just because of that change in how people are voting.
Okay, I see. So not necessarily a sign that more Republicans are going to vote overall.
Exactly. But there's another thing that could really throw a wrench in the whole thing: legal challenges.
Oh, yeah, right?
Hmm.
That seems to happen every election now. Doesn't the article mention that?
It does. The Harris team is putting on a brave face, saying they're ready for any legal battles that come up.
Okay.
But the article points out that there have already been some concerns raised by Republicans in Pennsylvania.
What kind of concerns?
Stuff like, challenges to signature verification on mail-in ballots. That kind of thing could drag things out in court for a long time.
Yeah, that's not good.
And even lead to, arguments about the results.
So let me get this straight. The Harris campaign is really focused on women voters. They're not too worried about the increase in Republican early voting, and they're prepared for legal challenges.
Pretty much.
But even with all of that, they still seem really confident that they're going to win. In fact, the article quotes the campaign chair saying, "We're very confident we're going to win this thing."
Yeah, I saw that. It's a bold statement for sure.
It is. I mean, the polls are so close right now.
Exactly. So are they just trying to look strong? Or do they genuinely believe they have this in the bag? Or maybe it's a little bit of both.
Right. It's like they're holding all the cards close to their chest.
Exactly. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Right. Well, deep divers, what do you think? Is all this confidence from the Harris campaign for real, or are they just bluffing? What are you going to be watching for as we get closer to Election Day? Let us know down in the comments. And don't forget to like and subscribe to keep up with all our deep dives into the 2024 election. It's going to be a wild ride.
Definitely.
See you next time.
Bye.